you are a Browns fan and want John Harbaugh to be the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns, ESPN Cleveland's Tony Grossi threw out a fastball today. Threw out an absolute rumor that John Harbaugh allegedly has some stipulations if he wants to be the new head coach of the Cleveland Browns. His first stipulation is that he wants $20 million per year. I don't mind that stipulation right there. That's not a crazy ask. The Cleveland Browns just gave out the most guaranteed money to any player of all time. And it ended, 9-10, 80 passer rating from Deshaun Watson. Not really the best return on investment there. So Jimmy has him. I don't think he's going to be trepid in spending money. He hasn't been the entire time he's been with the Cleveland Browns, even though he did dish out $230 guaranteed to Deshaun Watson. I don't really think he's going to, be trepid about writing a blank check, so to speak, to John Harbaugh. I don't really think that's a big issue right there. His second stipulation that John Harbaugh has, allegedly, according to Tony Grossi of ESPN Cleveland, $10 million for his boys, his staff. So, yeah, all these pipe dreams of Jim Schwartz retaining his defensive coordinator position with the Cleveland Browns, if they do go with John Harbaugh. Now, these are all rumors, and the Cleveland Browns have not interviewed John Harbaugh yet, so these are all pie in the sky hopes. And I'm pretty sure Tony Grossi, he has his sources, and he has a lot more insight than I do. But, this might or might not happen. But let's just say it does. These are all stipulations that are rumored that John Harbaugh wants. The second one, $10 million for his staff. The third one is total authority over the roster. Total autonomy to do what he wants with the roster. So when you think about that, what's the first thing that pops in your mind? Quarterback. Okay? Does he like Shedeur Sanders? Well, the rumor was that the Ravens, they were looking to get up in the draft in the 5th round, just like the Browns were. If the Browns didn't get Shedeur, the rumor was that the Ravens were going to get Shedeur Sanders to back up Lamar Jackson in the 5th round. But allegedly, Shedeur said, nah, I really don't want to go to Baltimore. Allegedly, because he didn't really want to be behind Lamar Jackson, because he didn't really think he would get a lot of playing time, which is a good assertion to have if you were to believe everything that was stated upon that. I don't know if I'm going to believe that or not, but that's the rumor that was out there. But yeah, the Ravens did have interest in Shedeur Sanders. That's the bottom line right there. If you are to believe the rumors about the Ravens and Shedeur during the draft process. So total authority over the roster. Does he like Shedeur? I think he does like Shedeur. And the last one, which is probably the biggest bombshell, he wants to have his own GM. So this just puts friction. You just tasked Andrew Berry to select the next head coach. It's a very similar situation to what Miami had. Miami was like, hey, we are going to give you more power, Mike McDaniel. Psych. John Harbaugh springs loose from the Baltimore. Baltimore fires him immediately. You can tell Miami is one of those teams that reached out to John Harbaugh before they fired Mike McDaniel. Crazy. It's no loyalty in this business at all, man. No loyalty in the football business at all. So it's going to go back to Andrew Berry. If Jimmy Haslam really likes John Harbaugh, he's going to have to fire Andrew Berry, because the stipulation, if you are to believe the stipulations, is that John Harbaugh wants his own GM. He wants total autonomy over the roster. He wants $20 million a year, and he wants $10 million for his staff. Those are that's a lot to ask. Like, I don't know if the Browns should give up that much power for John Harbaugh. All right, I do like John Harbaugh, but I feel like that is a lot to give up if you're the Cleveland Browns. A lot of power to give up to him. You're pretty much making him the GM. If he's going to pick his GM, the GM is probably going to have to answer to him. So he's going to be like co-GM. So that's a lot of power. And we've seen these scenarios in the NFL where if a coach / GM has all this power, it generally does not work well within the construct of the NFL. So I believe this is a disaster waiting to happen for the Cleveland Browns. I would not go down this path. I think John Harbaugh is a fantastic coach, but I'm not giving him all this power. I'm not giving him, I don't mind the 20 million. I don't mind the 10 for his for the staff, but giving him full autonomy over the roster, and he gets to pick the GM. He's essentially the GM at that point. And I don't think you just fired Kevin Stefanski and you tasked Andy Berry to pick the next head coach. I don't think you're gonna just then back up for that and be like, Andrew, thanks for your services, but you're fired too. And we're going to bring in John Harbaugh. He's going to be the de facto GM. He's going to bring in a guy that's going to be a yes man to him. He's going to be the co-GM. So, I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of moving parts here. I mean, I would like John Harbaugh to be with the Cleveland Browns, but it just seems like it's going to be too much of a headache. I don't want my Cleveland Browns going down that route where their coach is their GM. He's trying to be the GM. He's trying to be the coach. He's trying to be CEO of the team. It's just too many hats to wear, if you ask me. So this pipe dream of us getting John Harbaugh, probably not going to happen unless Jimmy Haslam is fine with conceding all of those things I laid out to you. Which, if I'm Jimmy Haslam, I'm not really too keen on the GM part and the total autonomy over the roster. Jimmy Haslam's like, what am I going to do? I don't have any say on the roster. I'm the owner. Total autonomy over the roster? That's crazy. I don't think Jimmy Haslam, the way Jimmy Haslam rolls, I just don't feel or think that Jimmy Haslam will want to give up that type of authority to John Harbaugh, even though John Harbaugh is a fantastic coach, even though John Harbaugh is a Super Bowl winning coach. I mean, that's just way too much to give up if you're Jimmy Haslam. And I think Jimmy Haslam generally does like the job Andrew Berry did in the last draft. He gave him the old, hey, man, good job. He pretty much said, Jimmy Haslam said before the 2025 season has come out that Jimmy Haslam was like, hey, man, I'm giving y'all pretty much a blank slate. Y'all got to go out there and show out. I'm going to judge y'all based on this year alone. That's what it seems like. Kevin Stefanski, there were games out there. Andrew Berry said this in his press conference. There are games out there that the Cleveland Browns lost that Andrew Berry felt like the coach was lacking. And I'm glad he called him out because there were some games out there that the Cleveland Browns could have won if they had a better coach. John Harbaugh would be that better coach. But for Andrew Berry, John Harbaugh is that better coach. Then that means he will not be with the Cleveland Browns. Crazy. Wow, Tony Grossi actually doing his job. Bombshell. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. Like and subscribe. I'm like 4 subs away from 300. By the time you click on this video, I'll probably be over 300 subs. I appreciate all the love and support. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for rocking with your boy KSK Sports. I'm out of here. Peace.